Imagine this. The president is dead. Moscow is in ruins. The world is silent. And then, a single missile lifts off from a secret underground silo. It doesn't carry a nuclear warhead. It carries orders. Orders to launch everything. This isn't fiction. This is Dead Hand, the Soviet Union's fully automated nuclear retaliation system. A machine designed to end the world, even if there's no one left to press the button. Dead Hand, known in Russia as Perimeter, is a Cold War invention like no other. It's not just a missile system, it's a last resort backup plan for Armageddon. Its purpose? To ensure that even if the Soviet Union was completely destroyed in a surprise nuclear attack, it could still retaliate with full force. Dead Hand doesn't prevent war. It guarantees revenge. Let's go back to the early 1980s. The Cold War is at its peak. The US and the Soviet Union are locked in a deadly standoff, each with thousands of nuclear weapons. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, is in full effect. But Soviet leaders are worried about something worse than nuclear war. A decapitation strike. A first strike that wipes out their leadership, command structure, and communication networks. All before they can launch a counterattack. Without someone to give the launch order, the Soviet nuclear arsenal would be useless. To solve this, they created a terrifying idea. A system that doesn't need people to make the decision. Dead Hand wasn't always active. In a crisis, it had to be manually activated by top officials. Once activated, the system entered standby mode, constantly scanning for signs of nuclear war. It used a combination of sensors and triggers. Seismic detectors to sense nuclear explosions, radiation monitors across Russian territory, communication loss with high command, even pressure sensors to confirm if bunkers had collapsed. If these conditions were met, and no commands were coming from above, Perimeter would launch a single command missile. This missile, flying over the Soviet Union, would send launch codes to silos, submarines, mobile launchers, and bombers. Every surviving nuke would be fired at pre-programmed targets. And here's the chilling part. Only one officer in a deep underground bunker had to confirm that the situation met the criteria. If that one person pushed go, humanity might never recover. For years, the West believed Perimeter was a myth, Soviet propaganda, or Cold War legend. But after the fall of the USSR, retired military officers confirmed, yes, Perimeter was real. And yes, it may still be operational today. In fact, in 2009, General Sergei Karakayev of Russia's Strategic Missile Forces confirmed that the system had been modernized and remains in service. It might sound insane, building a machine that can end humanity without human input. But to the Soviets, this was pure logic. If your enemy knows you'll retaliate no matter what, even if you're already dead, they're less likely to strike first. It's a concept called fail deadly deterrence. And Dead Hand wasn't about starting a war. It was about scaring your enemy out of even considering it. So, is it still active? Officially, Russia says yes, but it's only used in extreme cases. Unofficially, we don't know exactly how it's been upgraded or controlled. And today, the world is more complex than it was in the 1980s. AI and automation are improving. Cyber warfare can trigger false alarms. Communication networks are more vulnerable. What happens if a glitch, a misreading, or even a hacked sensor activates the system? The question is no longer just about war, it's about whether we've given up too much control to machines. The Dead Hand may be out of sight, but it's not out of the picture. It represents the darkest side of military logic, where the ultimate weapon is not about who pushes the button, but about making sure it gets pushed, no matter what. In the end, the most terrifying thing about Dead Hand isn't the missiles. It's that the system still waits in silence, listening, ready. If you found this video thought-provoking, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments. Should systems like Dead Hand still exist today? Or have we gone too far?